Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the kickoff call for this week as we jump into another week. Shout out to you guys for just having an amazing week last week. I really loved getting to see everybody at the holiday party. So everybody that made the journey up here to North Carolina, we appreciate you guys. Everybody that was unable to come, we definitely missed you and hope that you can get there next year. But what a phenomenal event and phenomenal way to go into this week. This week's coming in on a high. Not only did we have our holiday party, but the Philadelphia Eagles also avenged my Buffalo Bills and beat the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday. So it's going to be a great week. To all my Kansas City fans, it's going to be okay. I know you guys are used to winning that one, but every now and then you got to let somebody else win, right? So Philly, congrats to you, all my Philly fans. I think that Philly's my second team now since they dethroned the Kansas City Chiefs. If Buffalo's not playing, I might have to root from Philly from now on. So hopefully you had fun this weekend at the party and then the Super Bowl party as well. But jumping into this week, guys, let's give a big shout out to some agents who got an award for last year. So we handed out 4 awards at the event. And so proud of these guys. We had Taylor Wade come in and win the Freedom and Faith Award. If you were not at the event, right, the Freedom and Faith Award is just, it goes to the agent who represents all that we stand for as a company. And not only that, but it's also the agent that does great on their personal production, but they're always willing to help everybody else out in the agency as well. And they're always cheering everybody on. So T Wade, super proud of you for winning the Freedom of Faith Award. Let's give Jenny Ivy a big shout out for winning Comeback Agent of the Year Award. Jenny came back with a fire, hit the Cancun trip, just did absolutely phenomenal. So Jenny, super proud of you. Then we've got Jody coming in, her first year ever in insurance, and she just had such a phenomenal year in 2024. So she took home Rookie of the Year. So Jody, super proud of you for earning that award. And then bringing home Agent of the Year is none other than Erin Lunsford, and her husband Jeffrey won Spouse of the Year because he had to put up with Erin working so much last year to bring home that trophy. But Erin, super proud of you. You fought so hard every single month last year to keep your name at the top of that chart. So super proud of you, Aaron, for hitting Agent of the Year. But guys, give all of them a big shout out one more time in the WhatsApp chat for taking home those trophies at the awards. So super, super proud of you guys. On today's call, okay, we're going to talk about some success tips, all right, that are straight from the Bible. But before we jump into that, I want to give a big shout out to the Agents of the Week last week. Now, I know it was a short week, right? A lot of you guys were traveling on Thursday and Friday to get up here to Durham, North Carolina for the event on Saturday. But even amongst that, check out these numbers. Okay, top 15, we had Jennifer coming in at the top 15, KZ representing there in the top 15, Rebecca been in the top 15 every week so far this year. Big shout out to Jody putting her name in the top 15. I want to give Jody a shout out too. Top 15 in life production, but she also is uncovering annuities left and right. She was texting me all last week, uncovering opportunities there. So nice work to you, Jody. Big shout out to Paulo in the top 15 for the week last week. Ivy is in the top 15. Big shout out to Kirk. He as well closing down a bunch of annuities and life sales at the same time. Big shout out to Jess. Hey, Jess, super proud of you, right? You went from field sales, then you dove into the telesales, and then last week you jumped into the field to do some field training, and you had a huge week. So way to go, Jess. Kelly in the top 15, like always, and she's been in the top 15 the past couple of weeks. Big shout out to Becky. Becky's always in the top 15. Becky just needs to get a permanent placeholder in the top 15 because she always puts her name up there. Big shout out to Justin. Justin put in a bunch of power nights last week, and the results showed for it. I seen him post multiple applications there in the afternoon. So nice work to you, Justin, in the top 15. Big shout out to Willie always finding himself in the top 15. Hey, Willie told me he's going to win Rookie of the Year this year, and he's going to win Agent of the Year. That's what he said last week. So he said, Aaron, he is taking that trophy from you, just like the Philadelphia Eagles took it from the Chiefs yesterday. Big shout out to Julie. Same with Julie. Julie's always in the top 15. Julie, super proud of you. I'm just going to make you guys like a permanent placeholder that's reserved for you for every single week, because you guys always do big things. So nice work to you, Julie. Big shout out to Beth, finding herself in the top 15, crushing it like always. Super proud of Beth. Not only did she do life, she also is incorporating the health products as well. So way to go, Beth. Nice work. And then taking home number 1, Agent of the Year last year, came in last week on 18 applications, 18 families protected, over 10K in AP for her. So Aaron, big shout out to you, taking home Agent of the Week, running for Agent of the Year. Tell Jeffrey he's not going to get a break and go back-to-back years. Maybe Aaron could do the three-peat like the Kansas City Chiefs were unable to do yesterday. Maybe Aaron could do it. We'll see. Nice work to you, Aaron. Jumping into the verse of the day. Okay, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Probably my favorite verse out there. What's interesting about this one going into this week and into this day, notice what it says. All right, it says, I can do all things. It doesn't say I could do some things. It doesn't say I could do things when I feel like I'm qualified to do them, or I could do things when I feel good, or I could do things tomorrow or the next day, or I could do things when this happens or when that happens. It says I can do all things, everything, through Christ who strengthens me. So as you guys, whatever you're up against this week, all right, think about that verse. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We put limits on ourselves, but we serve a King who doesn't have any limits, who literally anything is possible if you could pray about it, ask about it, and not doubt when you do that. So great verse to kick off this week. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Going into this week, thought it would be cool to talk about what are a few things that Jesus says about success, right? It was funny. Our 10-year-old Landon, he loves when I give him a shout out on this call, but he gets embarrassed if he's listening to this. But he's so smart, very, very smart. Like when he's like a master negotiator at 10 years old. Inside of his game, he's got this Oculus Meta headset that he likes to play, but inside of it, I can hear him wheeling and dealing with people in there. He builds these worlds. I don't know if it's Minecraft or what he's playing in there, but he builds these worlds, and then he has people want to join the world that he created. All right. And it was really funny listening to him in there, because he wants to put the videos on YouTube and he wants to make people pay, right, to get into his world, have a bunch of subscriptions. His goal is like to be like Mr. Beast on the YouTube channel. But it was interesting as I was listening to him talk about this world that he was creating and how things are orchestrated and all of that, and how you can get successful inside of the game that he's playing if you build these worlds, then you sell them, market them to other people, all of that stuff, right? He was telling me, about the success of gamers, right? The success of people that he listens to on YouTube, or different things that are inside of this game. And as he was talking about success, it was interesting to me because a lot of what he was talking, just being at 10 years old, attributed back to these biblical principles. And he didn't even know that he was doing it, right? What I'm about to go through with you guys is basically how he was creating these worlds inside of this headset, inside of this game. And as I was watching him do this and listening to him and listening to the people that he plays with, they're very successful in the world of that game, but they're doing all of these principles that were laid out in the Bible, right? Then I think about watching the game yesterday. I think about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs and how they got to the Super Bowl. And if you really look at those players, if you look at the coaches, they were all exemplifying these principles that Jesus laid out. If I looked at any successful story of a person, usually you can backtrack it, and these principles are at the foundation of what they did to become successful. So I thought it was a great way to kick off this week's call, because as you guys run to success, the principles are there, and you can see them in the smallest of things, from your kid playing a video game or from the Super Bowl champions, right? Like, you can see them across the world in different industries, different ages. You can see that these principles work. And so I want to share these with you guys, because I think as we run to success, it's so important to be grounded in what you're running for, right? It goes back to that verse of, I'm a butcher. I don't know it verbatim, right? But it says, what good is it for a man to gain the world but lose his soul in the process? That attributes back to this. So as you guys run to build a successful career, a successful family, successful life, when you run to all of that, stay rooted and grounded in the principles that Jesus actually said is what success even is in the first place, right? So number one, success in serving others. Okay, he said, the greatest among you will be your servant. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted, right? How true is that? It's about serving other people is where you find real success, not seeking power or recognition or any of that stuff, right? That stuff is like an amateur way of trying to find success, but actually serving other people is where Jesus says you could find success for yourself. So how can you do that? All right. As you guys go out there today, think about that. Are you more focused on yourself, or are you more focused on the client that you're sitting with, that you're serving? All right. Builders, coaches, are you more focused on your success, or are you more focused on your agent's success? So the greatest among you, all right, will be your servant. All right. That was the first tip. Second one is success in seeking God's kingdom. Okay. This is one I got to constantly refocus my brain around. This is one of the most difficult ones, I think, for people to comprehend, right? But it says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. All right. And then Jesus goes on to teach about when you focus on God's will and live in a righteous life, other things fall into place. All right. But true success comes from prioritizing your spiritual goals over worldly desires. This is so true. All right, this is so true. Guys, when I focus so much on how to have worldly success, and I'm focused more on that than I am on seeking his kingdom, it's just, life is just way harder, right? Bumps come up, roadblocks come up. It just doesn't work. All right. But if you focus on his will first, seeking him first, it's amazing how all that other stuff, okay, just kind of falls into place. I kind of picture this, like I picture him just being up there looking down on us right now, and he's got this faucet, right? This little faucet handle, and we're running around, all right, just trying to find water on our own power, in our own control. We're running around the world just trying to find water, but there's no water to be found. And then the minute we look up and we ask for water, he just turns a faucet on, right? Guys, your finances are like that. This business is like this. Your production, your sales production is like that. You can only do so much in your control. But check it out. You can't control your client's attitude. You can't control if your lead's going to be at home or not. You can't control if they're going to need your help or not. You can't control if you run into the right people or not. But he can. All right. And if you could seek his kingdom first, other stuff just falls into place. All right. If I look on the last few years, all right, the success that we've seen as an agency and as a company, it's entirely based upon this principle, is seeking him first. What does he want us to do? Everything else just falls into place, right? Now, I'm not saying you don't ever want to seek his kingdom to get stuff, right? You want to seek his kingdom to become close to him, and he takes care of all that other stuff. But I think people who find true success and they have fulfillment and they're happy and they're enjoying life, it comes because they're putting him first, and they know whether worldly life is good or bad. They're going to be good because they're with him first and foremost. So that's number 2. All right, as we run to have a successful week. And then number 3, success in faith and in trust. Okay, so Jesus said, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. How hard is this for us, right? Like if we're going out there in the field today or on the phones today, we want to have a big day. All right, when we make that prayer, do we doubt? Do we believe it? Do we believe like it's already yours? Guys, if you are somebody who has a goal that you're trying to hit in the future, all right, look at this verse. It says, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have already got it and it will be yours. Trusting him without doubt and having faith in something that you can't even see, that you've never seen before, right? That's how you find success. Spent so many days out there for me in the field where I couldn't explain how I ran into the client I did. I was having a horrible day, said a little prayer like this, and boom, the next house was somebody that really needed my help. So have faith in what you do, okay? Rely on him. He don't want you to rely on yourself. If we rely on ourselves, you're usually going to be disappointed in the outcome. All right. And then lastly, to wrap up today's call, success in loving other people, right? Notice what he says. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. Love your neighbor as yourself. Why would he put this in the verse? You know, one thing I love reading about in the Bible, especially when Jesus is talking in the Bible, is everything that he did was for other people, right? You would think, here's a guy that everyone's following him. He's popular, right? He's got this huge movement. Why wouldn't he be doing things so he could get stuff himself? Why wouldn't he be doing things so he could get money or wealth or fame or never. He always finished it with saying something that benefits somebody else. Love your neighbor as yourself, right? Guys, when you go out there in the field, this is one of the most important things that you could do to find success, because people can genuinely tell when you care about them and when you don't. All right. So love your neighbor as yourself. All right. Notice all these principles that he laid out for us to have a good life, to have a successful life. Most importantly, to have a fulfilled life, a happy life. Right? Life is way too short to go being every day miserable, right? But to have a happy life, it's based around these 4 things. So at the end, right, I put on here, success is found in relationships, not in possessions. All right, guys, the best people out there, the most successful, they found that success based off the relationships they have with other people. You can't build anything big, all right, by yourself. All right, this company would be absolutely nothing if it wasn't for all of you, all right, that make up this great company, this culture, and what we have here at Freedom and Faith, right? Success is found in relationships with your family members, with the clients you serve, with your work people, right? So look at your relationships and think about this. Why would he tell us to love God with all of our heart and our soul? And then why would he tell us to love our neighbor as ourselves? So 4 tips for you guys, okay, going into this week, just to have a good week. Let's go have a record week as an agency. I want to know what your personal best record is, and I want you to run hard to beat that thing going in here into the 2nd week of February. So I appreciate you guys for jumping on today. It is Monday. Drop your goal in the WhatsApp chat. Let's go have a big day, and we will be back here on Wednesday morning.